Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Soul Card Studio and another weekly forecast. Man, these weeks are really going by fast, and I know I seem to say that every week, but it's really true. And last week we had a lot of energetic shakeup with the full moon. We also had Mercury going into retrograde. We had Jupiter going into Leo. We had, I think, what was it, Mars going into Gemini. So yeah, it was a lot going on. And if your Mercury's in retrograde like mine, you've been experiencing some issues. I know I had an internet outage. A couple of days plans didn't go as planned. So yeah, but Mercury definitely retrograde, y'all, right? And so that was a lot of cosmic shifts last week. But this week, it's all about integration, right? We're starting to recalibrate, and we are starting to build this week. So also the week 27 is guided by the Ace of Diamonds. So this is the card of new financial beginnings, and that's music to a lot of people's ears, especially if you've been going through some financial dips, right, and a little bit of shortage these past couple of months, weeks, days, or whatever it's been for you. This is the start of fresh abundance. So let's look forward to that this week. There's a lot of opportunity, and if we plant the seeds correctly, we could be planting the seeds for long-term wealth. Starting this week with the Ace of Diamonds. So, the Ace of Diamonds is all about new chapter of abundance is available to you. But, right, you have to reach for it, right? Nothing is given. You have to be able to take it, right? So, aces are pure potential, right? It's a spark of a new beginning. So, this is very good energy, especially if you're looking at your finances now, thinking about starting a business, or just wanting to plan for the long term, maybe a savings plan or something of that nature. An investment plan would probably even be better than savings. So in diamonds, that's the suit of values and money and worth and manifestation. And so this is really the seed of something transformative starting this week. So, and if I hadn't mentioned already, I'm Portia with the Soul Card Studio, and I look forward to guiding you through this week. We cover astrology, a little bit of numerology, and cardology on top of that. So I'm going to give you the forecast for the week. And if you've been enjoying these videos, please pass this information along to someone who can enjoy it as well. Like, subscribe, and share this information with your friends and family members who love to hear about what's happening with the stars and the numbers this week. So let's dive in, starting with astrology first. So yeah, with astrology this week, it's much quieter than what it was last week. But quiet doesn't mean not interactive. This is just not chaos energy per se. This is really the energy that we use to plant seeds, because we still have the sun in Cancer all week, and that's bringing more focus to home, emotional security, right? So it's really, Cancer is a watery sign, so it deals with home responsibility, family, intuition, nurturing, right? And so it's reminding us really to build from the inside out, right? So it's not only telling you to go after material gain this month because we are in that vibration of the 8. It's also about how do you feel about money? What is your work? How do you feel that you're worthy, right? Do you deserve everything that you say that you want, right? It goes back to that because we're in Cancer season. And so it's really about emotional security and making sure that you're right on the inside as it relates to money, your finance, or financial security, and whatever you're trying to achieve in that area. But it's really before abundance can show up, your inner foundation has to be strong enough to hold it, right? So you have to form the container that can sustain the wealth. Oftentimes we see a lot of people hit the lottery, right, for hundreds of millions of dollars sometime, and then you hear within less than 10 years that they're broke, and you're wondering how that happened. Well, it's because they didn't have a good emotional relationship with money, right? You have to get right with that first in order to not only get the money, but be able to hold on to it. Yes, because we're in for the long term, not for the short term. And so we have the Mercury in retrograde also until the 23rd of this month. And so that is always going to bring us back to square one because it's in retrograde in Cancer. So it's going right back even harder into the theme that I'm telling you about, which is emotional security around your financing. finances. How do you feel about your money? How do you feel about money, period? When you go to price something for your business, or if you try to charge for a service that you're providing, are you pricing on the low end, or are you pricing on the high end because you're targeting those kind of clients because you know that you're worthy of that dollar amount, right? So it's about not shrinking into a smaller role. It's about standing taller, about what you deserve. So while Ace of Diamonds wants to begin something new, the retrograde is going to tell us to review first, and revisit again. And then you need to reconsider, right? Look before you leap when it comes to making financial decisions this month, with this Mercury in retrograde. So you just don't want to rush it just because you're feeling all happy about it. You kind of want to pick it apart, tear it down, rebuild it again, analyze it some more before you make the step. And trust me, I'm not being too cautious with this because we are in Mercury retrograde. So you just don't want to make a quick decision or impulsive decision based on a whimsical emotion, because again, we're in Cancer season. So you may have a happy feeling about something until you see the truth about it and you wish that you hadn't gotten into it. So this is the time to really review what your next step is so you don't wind up in a situation like that, right? So it's all about planning it, placing it, pricing it, preparing it, whatever you got to do, and then plant that seed of intention for this month. And so really we're going to open, this first full week in July very powerfully with this energy. And again, like I'm saying, it's really about you planting the seeds of financial abundance and not just taking action, but taking methodical action, right? Being sure that you're sure that you're sure about the direction that you're going, especially with Mercury retrograde in Cancer. So it really is really a review of where you are. And remember, Mercury in retrograde can really muddy up the communication lines, right? It can make you seem a little bit foggy. Brain fog can happen during this time. Or, it may seem like communication may be repetitive. So you definitely want to make sure that you are discerning what's coming across right now, because we are in such an elusive time, with Mercury being in retrograde in Cancer. So with the moon's activity this week, we're going to start in Pisces. See, we're talking about that water energy, and water in Pisces is definitely a water sign. And so the moon is at home in Pisces. And so this gives us more of an intuitive, spiritual, reflective kind of nature, that's going to be happening on Sunday, which is befitting, right? Because that's the day after the 4th of July. So a lot of us are going to be reflecting, spending time with family, things of that nature. Then we have Monday, July 6th. We have the moon enter into Aries. And so, Aries is bold, is brave, it takes action. And so you may be more compelled to make a step on your plans on Monday. Now, what's happening on Tuesday as well, we still have the moon in Aries. And so on Wednesday, though, the moon goes to Taurus. And so now we're going to be feeling more grounded, stable, and then more patient, right? And so you take a little bit of action on Monday and Tuesday, but just wait to see what the results are going to be with that action that you took, because this is the time where it should materialize, right, during the moon in Taurus. Now, we do have the moon moving into Gemini on Friday, on July 10th. And so with Gemini, that's mental activity, right? A lot of thinking, communication happens during Gemini. And then Gemini is very curious, very mentally curious about stuff. And so, like I said, this Gemini energy is very, it pairs well with what's happening with the Cancer, the Mercury retrograde in Cancer, because again, Gemini is very curious. And so this is the time to be curious, a time to review your plans but with curiosity, right? With wonder, right? From a different perspective. So this week, the moon moves from dreaming to doing to grounding to thinking. And again, this is the perfect energy for the Ace of Diamonds, right? To plant your seeds with intention. Now we're in the first full week of July, y'all. So this marks the first full week of the universal month 8, right? So July is month 8. And how we get the universal month 8 is that July is typically the seventh month of the year, but this year we are in a one universal year. So, because 2026, if you add up each individual number, you'll get a 10. The 10 breaks down to a 1. So you add that 1 to the 7, and that's how we get the universal month of number 8. So, what does that entail? Well, that entails the theme of abundance, executive power, manifestation, a little bit of excessiveness because 8 can overdo it on the excessiveness, but definitely a good time to get your money up, right? So it's all about the finances and abundance and wealth and in material success when it comes to the number 8. So this also can translate into the real world, right? So this vibrational energy is there for you to manifest. And so we also have the Ace of Diamonds supporting this 8 energy that we're in with this month, this week. So they're both speaking the same language. And so the question is, what are you building? What do you value? And what are you ready to receive, right? Because again, it goes back to your self-worth. Because you don't see yourself worthy of whatever it is you're trying to obtain, you never will get it, right? And so this is really a time to do some inner reflection, since we do have Mercury Retrograde in Cancer, because with that Cancer energy is asking, what are you willing to take responsibility for, right? Are you still blaming others for your shortcomings or for where you are now in life, or are you still blaming the man for holding you down, right? Are you still giving these kind of narratives and playing victim? Because if that's the case, then you're not taking responsibility for your own actions and where you are in life. And so this really takes a lot of self-reflection and evaluation to really hone in with what it is that you're truly, truly in alignment with, and why you keep making excuses for yourself of why you're not there yet, right? So, and getting rid of that and overcoming it. This is really what this energy is about. And you have the whole month, right, to really work on yourself. And this Cancer retrograde, sorry, Mercury in Cancer retrograde is really giving you that oomph, that push to do so while we're in Cancer season, and so you can do that reflection in the emotional security that it takes to bring in that abundance that the 8 is bringing you. And so here's the daily flow as far as the universal numbers and the numerology that breaks down for the week. So on Sunday, we're starting off with a universal 4-day. So the 4 energy, is about foundation, structure, and planning. So this is a great time to do even more reviewing on Sunday, right? And so on Monday, we have universal day 5 energy. So on this day, you want to stay flexible, you want to stay open, you want to stay adaptable, right? And then be a little more sociable on this 5-day, because that's what 5s are about. 5s are about fun. So July 7th, which is Tuesday, we are in a universal day 6 energy. So this brings us harmony, responsibility, family, realignment, balance, right? So that's what the 6th energy is about. So really, I would do maybe a self-care routine, especially since we're on a 7-7 day, right? That 7-7 energy, because July 7th, that definitely would be a great day to do some reflection, some self-care to get yourself back in realignment. Now on Wednesday, July 8th, we have day 7 energy. So this is more spiritual reflection. Maybe ask about you in the spiritual realm with money. How are you in alignment with your finances and what you're doing to bring in money, right? Is it in spiritual alignment with you, or is it goes against you in your spirit, right? So this would be a good time to really evaluate your money and your spirit to see how well they intertwine together. Because again, y'all, we're just talking about energy, right? Money is no more than an energetic vibration. It is just something that we collectively agree and say, hey, this piece of paper has this amount of worth. But if we all collectively said that piece of paper isn't worth anything, then we would truly see that money is nothing but just pure energy and vibration, right? We're the ones that put the emphasis on how important or how not important money is in our lives. And you never want to tie your self-worth to your money, right? Because you are worth more than gold, right? And so we have to look at things in perspective. There's only one you. And when I hear things are being original, for me, the value goes up even more. So on Thursday, July 9th, we have a universal day 8 energy. So after you did your reflection on Wednesday and possibly on Tuesday, then it's time to power up, manifest this money, and take authority, right? Take full responsibility and authority, and more importantly, action in your life to get what it is that you want. Now, on July 10th, which is Friday, we have Universal Day 9 energy, which means wrap it up, right? So this is time to release what no longer serves you, clear any blocks, right? Get that clarity that you need to move forward and complete the final stages. Give away, what you no longer wear or use, right? That's a good way to clear energy, is to give away things that you no longer use or wear on a day 9 energy. And then on Saturday, July 11th, we have a 1 day. So we're back at a new beginning, and this should be a fresh start for you. So if you did the work throughout the week, then you're going to welcome this 1 energy on Saturday. So one of the things that you should notice is this week we have a little bit of a theme going on, right? You're setting the foundation on Sunday, but then you're going to start fresh by the end of the week. And so Thursday is really the peak, though, because it gives you that power up day. Like I was saying, that 8-8 energy. So really, we kind of got 2 portals going on this week. We had the 7-7 portal, and then we have the 8-8 portal. So, really use that energy wisely, that double 8 energy on Thursday. This is not the day to hide from your power, right? This is the day for you to take one grounded action towards your goal, your financial vision. And so please use Thursday wisely, because this could be the start of something brand new for you, but at the same time, this could be a new financial beginning that can set you and your family on a path that you never would have even imagined. So use that day wisely. Do something real, take action, and like I said, use this opportunity. After a long day, come back to yourself. The Divine Align Candle and Journal Bundle was created to help you slow down, breathe deeper, and reconnect with your inner self. Light your candle, open your journal, set your intention. Let each ritual anchor peace, clarity, and alignment into your daily routine. Find your number, choose your candle, begin your ritual. Shop the Divine Align Bundle now at soulcardstudioshop.com. So this week's card is the Ace of Diamonds. So, the aces represent new beginnings. It's really the spark of something new, a new thought, a new idea, right? But since it's a diamond, so we know it has to deal with finances, value, money, worth, right? And so this could be a new beginning in value, a new value system, could be a new opportunity, could be a new or fresh relationship with your self-worth, right? It could mean so many different things related to self-worth and money, because oftentimes the Ace of Diamonds, they're very ambitious, but at the same time they can be self-sabotaging because they don't think they're worthy of their goals, right? So they can be counterintuitive sometimes, being the Ace of Diamonds, because of that negativity that could be hanging in the subconscious. But again, we're talking about beginnings when we're talking about aces. So we're not talking about harvesting anything. We're talking about planting the seed, right? And so this is what this week is about. It's about planting the seed of a new financial beginning, maybe a new opportunity with your job, or maybe a new career, or it could be a fresh start with who you think you are in your relationship with money, right? And who's your financial identity? Are you the hoarder where you're in fear that money will run out one day? Are you the person that just overspends? Are you the shopaholic that you have too much month at the end of your money, right? And so you have to get real with your financial identity this week, because this is what this energy is calling you to do, so you can do a complete tear down to rebuild something real in its place. Because once you identify who you are with money, then, right, the awareness brings you to the answer and the solution to your problems. Because I can almost guarantee you it could just be a matter of just bad habits, right, as to why you don't have the wealth that you're trying to obtain. So this is really the seed, right, the Ace of Diamonds. And when we're talking about this seed, again, this could be a new income stream, could be a new offer, a new financial mindset, right? It can be so many different things as it relates to a new financial venture or just a new way of being. But here's the key, right? And I want you to listen closely to this. The ace is just pure potential. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. The ace is just pure potential until you act upon it. So yes, you can have that new financial idea. Yes, you can have that new business idea. But again, a vision without action is just a daydream, right? So we need to take action on our dreams in order to make them into reality. And this is what this week is calling us to do. So you have the seeds, right, planted with the Ace of Diamonds. And so if you're on the high vibrational side of the Ace of Diamonds energy this week, then you're going to be embracing new financial opportunities, planting seeds with wealth, with intention, developing a healthy relationship with your worth and your money, seeing abundance wherever you used to see lack, right? Because so many of us are suffering from a lack mindset that is ridiculous. And we don't even realize it until we say something like, ooh, I hope I have enough for whatever, or instead of saying, I know that I will have more than enough for whatever it is that I need, right? If you're still hoping, then you're not believing, right? You're not trusting, because hope implies, I'm thinking it might work, but I still got one foot out the door, right? We don't want to hope anymore. We want to trust. And once you start trusting in abundance, then you will start to see more abundant things be added to you. But if you're still in that lack and scarcity mindset, well, my friend, you're going to continue to be in a lack situation, right? Always wanting. Now, if you believe in what you desire, then you will have material success, right? And so this is what the Ace of Diamonds is reminding us on the positive side. Now, on the shadow side, again, it's all about dreaming and not taking action, right? We can have these dreams, we can have these visions, we can have these plans, but they're nothing until you take the action. And also, if you're feeling unworthy of the financial success that you desire, then that's no bueno either. Starting but not following through, that's another problem, because again, aces are pure potential. They can start, but are they going to be able to see it all the way through, right? And so you could be hoarding your money or out of fear that it may run out, because again, that's back into that scarcity mindset. Making impulsive money decisions, which is horrible, because if you're doing that without a strategy, then you're going to be wind up perpetually broke again. Now, also, don't use this Mercury retrograde to do nothing, right? I know how some of y'all are, right? Y'all think because it's retrograde, you're not supposed to do nothing. You're supposed to be laying around waiting on Mercury to move again, but nah, right? This is the time to put pen to paper and start writing out your plans, your goals, your vision, right? And so when Mercury does come out of retrograde, you can probably start taking action, or bigger action, I should say, or you can take small steps while Mercury's in retrograde, but just don't, go too hard too soon. Wait till after, the fall clears, or after the 23rd. But do not use Mercury retrograde to do nothing, right? Don't be one of those people sitting on the couch talking about you're going to manifest, you sitting there meditating, because that's not going to move the needle, right? So this last point that I'm making really matters, because Mercury retrograde does not mean stop living, right? Life goes on whether Mercury's in retrograde, non-retrograde, or grading up, whatever Mercury's doing, right? So all this means is just that you need to refine, right? We're in a refinement period, right? They pull oil out of the earth. It's crude. They can't do anything with it, right? But once they refine that oil, oh, now we got gasoline. Oh, now we got plastic products, right? So it's through the refinement process that we become better, and then we can do more, right? And that's where we start to see the abundance that can spring just from one idea. So this is the time to really review, plan, right? Ace of Diamonds is about getting real with your finances, your self-worth, and your abundance. This ain't no dreamy time. This ain't no time to be sitting on the couch. This ain't no one day energy. This is today energy, right? So this is real. And so I have a couple of questions to ask you. What does financial success actually look like to you, right? Not what your family told you, not what social media said, not what you saw on YouTube, right? Not what society said.
It's what does it mean to you? What does wealth mean to you? Now, again, with this Mercury in retrograde in Cancer, this is a great time to review your money story. And so, what did your family teach you about wealth? What did you learn about receiving? Did you think that, or were you taught that it's better to give than receive? And then, if that's the case, then what's wrong with receiving? What did you learn about charging for your gifts? Right? Because we all have natural talents and abilities and services that we can offer people. But remember, what you charge for that is typically tied to your worth. And what did you learn about being worthy of ease? Meaning that you can just be, right, and money will naturally flow to you? Or do you believe you have to work hard, you have to hustle, you got to chase every dollar, right? So, what's your money story? What do you believe? And do you believe money can come in as easily as air, right? As easy as you breathe air, money can come to you. Do you believe that? So some of these stories may have protected you in the past, but now they are limiting you, right? Because this is about financial abundance and success, material success in this world. So, we have a lot of things going on with the planets. We actually have Neptune in retrograde too. So that's going to be also causing some fog along with the Mercury and Cancer. So this is a great time for you to look at your finances clearly, open those statements, review the numbers, check your plans, know where you stand. If you're trying to save so much, where you are with your savings. If you're trying to invest so much, are you holding true to what you said you're going to do? Right? So, and remember, clarity is not punishment. It is power, right? You know where you stand. And as long as you know where you stand, you know which direction you can head. But if you don't know what direction you're even facing, how do you even know where you're going when it comes to your money? So we're in this universal 8-month, like I said, this is the month of power, authority, manifestation. And so the Ace of Diamonds in the universal month 8, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. That means the universe is basically handing you a blank check. But now the question is, what are you going to do with it? And this is what we're summing up this whole weekly card about, right? What are you going to do with this blank check that the universe has given you at this point? Because now you can write whatever you would like, but are you worthy of that number that you put down?
For week 27, the seeds of new wealth is in your hand. And so the question is, will you plant it? The Ace of Diamonds is not going to plan itself. It waits for you to say yes, right? You have to put forth the action. It's not good enough to have the vision. You need to actually put some action behind that vision. And remember, vision without a plan is a disaster. And a plan without a vision is disastrous as well, right? So we need to be able to put the two together, because whenever you have a vision, but you never act upon it, it really is just a daydream, is it not? So we need to bring this into manifestation. So that Ace of Diamond is waiting for you to say yes to your work, yes to your vision, and yes to the financial chapter that is waiting for you once you take that action. And so really this week is giving you plenty to work with. We're in that abundant month 8, right? Universal month 8 of July. And then also we have the Ace of Diamonds to plant new financial seeds at the beginning. And really, that's really enough, right? So now you need to go build something that's going to be real and sustainable. And, and while you're doing it, right, stay radiant, stay abundant, and also stay building, because abundance is not something that you find, right? Abundance is something that you build one intention at a time. And so, look, family, in closing, if this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share to this channel. You know what? I'm not even going to say please. At this point, like, subscribe, and share to this channel, because at the end of this day, this message, can help anyone out, especially with the energy that's coming up. I'm all about making sure we plan according to the energy, and that's really what Soul Card Studio is about, putting you in energetic alignment so that whatever you try to put forth is supporting you with the cosmos, right? And so you want to be energetic alignment with the universe whenever you put yourself out there and you start a new business, or even just start new in life, right? We want to make sure we start with intention. And so Soul Card Studio is here to help you dive a little deeper. And if you want some more guidance, then join our community on Substack. With that, you get daily energy updates in my newsletter, which comes out daily. You get early access to that. You get member exclusive content, member discount on my website where you can enjoy the Divine Online candles or the journals, whatever helps keep your ritual going and keeps you in alignment. Or if you like to get more insight personally, then you can book a one-on-one with me. But until then, family, take care, stay well, and stay building. I'm Portia with Soul Card Studio. Have a great week.